Mark, I do a lot of things, but one of the things that I don't do is give stock picks or investment advice. Nothing I say should be misconstrued as such. I'm not telling you ever what to do, just talking to you as a friend. Do I care about you? Yes. Do I have the legal right to give you advice on things? Nope. Don't. You do whatever you want to do. You are your own free person with your own free will. All right. Now that I own your soul. Oh, you didn't read the end of that disclaimer. It's your loss. We're going to go right into the S mark. And before we start, I know I made some good calls. I always some great calls, some bad calls in between. I'm not perfect. But I do want to highlight and give a follow through a future call from here, from what I did on Wednesday, May 12th, where that was the bottom of the market. That was the bottom of the entire market when we had that video on May 12th talking about that. That's it. Remember? A lot of people got thrown off by that. How the hell? Because we were going to snap back to the 21. And then from there, we'll go up or down. In this case, we went up. So where do we go from here? I don't know. We might dip a little. We might bounce more. I don't know. Believe me, I don't really care because I would rather gap down very little and go green on the day than gap up huge, even 3 times, 4 to 10 times more, and then drop. I have an easier trading day for myself. But let's talk about something that I find indisputably stupid about the analyst and everyone. You ever listen to some of the Fed commentary? We talk about it here. Sometimes we use Bullard. They have all these funny ass names. Bullard is one of the Fed analysts. Is he a bear? No, that's Bearard, bro. He's Bullard. But check this out. Just hear me out on this. You guys are gonna like this. Listen to and look, I'm not perfect either. I make mistakes too. I don't come from this elitist perspective, but I feel a lot of them should be a little more clever, and I think they are, and I think a lot of them are just they're either complete morons, which I don't believe, or they're just effing liars. You be the judge. I'm not there to really tell you, but they think more importantly that you're an effing idiot and that I'm an effing idiot. Why? Well, I'm just gonna go and share my opinion and then you make your own. Okay? Check this out. Check this out. So one of the biggest Fed concerns, have you ever heard this one where they say, oh, one of the biggest concerns we have is if people are vaccinated and if the COVID will continue and there'll be more COVID, etc. Have you heard that? Have you heard them say that? Uncertainty based on potential where COVID will be in the future. Have you heard any of them say that? I mean, I have. And if you haven't been hearing it, right, different strains of COVID. You want to know the funniest thing in the world? Us having another COVID outbreak would be by far the most bullish event in known human history. Okay. So let's talk about real quick, and then I'm going to go through the S mark. And it's a horrible disease. And I hope the virus effing dies, and I hope it goes away forever. But it's not about what you and I hope. Let's just talk for just a hot second. What happens? What happens if we have another huge COVID outbreak and a similar, if not more, number of people are sick? Let's say similar. Well, first of all, what do you think is going to happen to the market? Well, the market will start heading lower initially, but what's going to happen from the Fed is they are going to print so much money. It's going to make what we have done in 2020 look like a joke. Like, oh, We only did like 3, 4, 5, 6 trillion then. It's just not compared to the 10, 15 we're doing now. The market would rally so hard that it will tear your faces off. It would be the greatest time ever to be a day trader. No, you didn't miss a lot, and I even recorded the we even recorded the four Shmuley, which was the the time we were talking before. I said I labeled it here Shmuley. I'll put it in the I'll put it in the thing right now. You didn't miss shit, bro. So let me get this straight. People won't work. Is that bearish for the market? Nope, because we're going to print a shit ton more money. People will die. Is that bearish for the market? As horrible as death is, and as much as I'm against it, and as charitable as a human being that you guys know I am, doesn't have shit to do. It's bullish for the market when people die. Why? Well, what comes with death? What comes with death? It's not bad for the economy. It's not bad for the economy. It isn't. What happens? What happens when someone dies? Any money they had is given to somebody else, right? If they had any. Wealth tax, exactly. Estate taxes, exactly. And what are you going to do? Oh, my XYZ passed away and he left me R number of dollars. What are you going to do with that money? Are you going to put it under a mattress? No, you're going to buy that thing you always wanted. You're more likely to buy, right, you're more likely to buy shit that the person who passed it down to you wouldn't have normally purchased. Hence why he or she had it. It's horrible. I know, like, I'm not like, I understand. I'm not saying this isn't a horrible thing. Like, you know, we as a room might have donated more to COVID than any other trading room on the planet. Okay. Let's start and end the sentence there. Maybe we did. Who knows? Um, but if we have another outbreak and the Fed is like, we are worried about another outbreak, I am sitting there. You know what the word worry means for Fed? Print with one of the 10 thumbs. Print. So we go up. So I find it funny as one of the concerns for the market going down is a reemergence of a COVID crisis, which would bring the market temporarily down. But what the market is right now, it's like a rubber band. Except it's not just a rubber band, it's like a crossbow. You know what a crossbow is? Are you guys familiar with the medieval crossbow? You guys know what a crossbow is? I mean, you can actually like buy them. Do you guys know what a crossbow? It's a crossbow. It's a crossbow. You pull it back and then you press a button and it shoots. It's a medieval weapon. It's a crossbow. All right. And if you pull the market down, what do you think happens? You have the Fed sitting there, and whoever's in office at the time, and they're sitting there and they're chatting it up. And they're like, look, the market's in a jam. I need you to step up to the plate and make things good for the people. And the Fed is sitting there and they're saying, well, what can we do? Are we going to raise interest rates? Are we going to lower interest rates? How about we just print F tons of money, throw it at the problem, sit back, and see how the market handles it? It's a crust, bro. Nice one. But, like, that's what they're going to do. Let's just be honest with each other. And I'm not saying you and I have a better solution. Oh, I have a better solution, Mark. Sure, you do. I really don't care if you have a better solution. or even have one. It's just simply what's going to happen. And I don't think anybody denies it because that is how you save the economy. It's not like we're going to give new jobs in different sectors and we're going to expand. Well, how are you going to do that? We're going to print money. There's never a guarantee, but I think it borderlines delusion if you feel there's going to be another response. I mean, there might be also other responses to what I'm saying. But the bottom line is we're going to print trillions of dollars if we have another COVID crisis. I think if you disagreed with that outcome, you would be like that person, and maybe you're right, but you would be that person who is like hardcore contrarian, hardcore contrarian, because we already know that printing money is the solution. So let's go into the S marks, and let's see what's up. Hey Mark, just curious how delayed the feed is when we get it. It's pretty instant. It's pretty instant. You know what? I mean, it depends. Notice a lot of news plays, by the time it's relayed to the room, it's moved quite a bit. By the time we see it, it's moved quite a bit. As soon as the news picks it up, some robot somewhere who is picking it up off the same or similar or different feed already reacted upon it in nanoseconds. Do you think when I call out these news plays, I'm not in a position, generally speaking. I'm talking to you. So when I did Cerner today, and I'm like, Cerner, I'm sitting there, I'm looking at Cerner. Oh, deal reporter Oracle, blah, 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 blah. Click, 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 buy, 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 market, market, market. That's how I roll. That's how I did it. So it's not a delayed from the room. I could speak on my own behalf. It's not a delay from the room. It's just that we're human beings. So usually when I bought Cerner, I don't exactly remember at what exact price, but I was calling it out in real time. When I bought Cerner off the deal reporter, I don't remember where it was, but this shit was high. Might have been up here ish. I don't know. I don't remember. But as soon as you heard it come out of my mouth, I did not have a position until after. Okay. Yeah, we have done the room check. The room is not delayed, but he's saying the news flow sides. Yes, you would love the news flow before it moves. So would I. But let's just be honest. Like some of the stuff Geronimo and Carl post, a lot of this stuff hasn't really moved till like later. And sometimes that's a difference between me. I'm pretty much usually slightly early or on time. And a lot of times, like Carl or Geronimo are like, you know, they're getting to the door and it's like the bar opens in 10 minutes and they're sitting outside like, we'll wait. We'll wait outside, guys. Don't worry about it. So, yeah, you have like Sometimes we're earlier, sometimes we're later, but that's news flow. I try to bring it to you before the majority of Wall Street. Right, but yeah, like for sure. But just keep in mind, like I'll use Cerner as the example. When I called out Cerner, like CERN, Charlie Echo Romeo November, Cerner, I have no position. So right, so we're talking when it's more circulated. Right, we're evolving with the news flow. All right, it's rotating. It's rotating. I'm seeing it a little here. It didn't fully rotate. I'm seeing it on one service. I'm not seeing it on another. That's the important part. And we just do the best with the information we have. It's a great point. It's an excellent point. There's absolutely no delay. All right. Dear Eddie, typoed. All right. Dear Chief Picardian Officer, for the last few years, I've supported friends and family who have participated in runs, walks, and bike rides to raise money for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. This year, I will be participating in the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation Cycle for Life event for the second year in a row now. For this race, I've committed to completing a century ride. Is that 100 miles? On the event day, September 18, 2021. Should um, all right, you don't want me to read the email? Is that what you're saying? So you don't want me to read it? Well, look, look. It's a different Eddie. I'm confused. All right. All right. All right. Next email. One moment. Just make sure you do not donate to that charity. Only me. That's a lot of tabs. Again, I keep getting these phone calls from numbers that look like mine, and I just have to. Uh, charge my phone. All right. Anyway, 1 second. Gonna donate some money. Ah, so check this out. So on the charity thing, they ask title, and you can put in Captain, Chief, Colonel, Commander, Lieutenant Colonel, the Honorable, Father, Rabbi. I'm gonna do Colonel. I'm gonna do Captain or Chief. Chief. That's too effing good. That's just so good. What is the connection to cystic fibrosis? No CF connection. That's my email. Don't remember me. Here's my credit card information. Son of a. Oh, I can pay PayPal. Thank you for making life easy. PayPal. Next. Just give me one moment, guys. All right. I sent money. There we go. Service at paypal.com. Beautiful. All right. Um, oh, that is an awesome tie. It's a badass dog. Yep. Moving on along. Chad, it's Caroline. She was reaching out to you, by the way. Hey, Mark, I think I'm still having issues about getting the green takes red strategy completely understood. Does there need to be three straight red 2 minute bars? No. That was an older version of the strategy that helps conviction. It's not that this doesn't work. Is that the answer is simply that's not the only way it works. You could do it with one red bar too. I've seen a variation of the strat where only one red 2 minute bar is needed. That is correct. I did several videos, and yeah, you might have watched one that had one of them. Should I ignore that variation? That's up to you. That's the whole point. Which variation works best for you? For me, I don't discriminate. If possible, can you give an example of a high and low two conviction 2 minute green takes red strats and why they are high and low conviction? Also, is it possible the difference between your version of the two green takes red versus Kelly version? There is. I mean, Kelly's using fibs like Fibonacci's and stuff, while I'm not. I think what is more concerning to me is that I'm not clear on the concept and not really the money portion of this. It is my understanding of all this is that once I get the concepts down and trading becomes easy, then the money will come. All right, thanks again for all the support. Again, I can't legally tell you money will come, but yes, when trading is easy, money does come. All right, so let's talk about what helps conviction. So let's say you have a typical bullish green takes red and you have a 2 minute chart. Let's say this is a 1 minute chart actually. 1 minute chart. And what we'll do is we'll put a 2 minute chart here. Okay. Like my mouse handwriting. And on the 2 minute chart, it looks like this because each 1 minute bar is like this, right? Because each 2 minute bar is two of the 1 minute bars. So this, let's say, is the same chart, right? You're looking at 1 minute of the same chart on the left, 2 minute of the same chart on the right, like same stock. So what happens here is what raises conviction? Well, first of all, if you have like a moving average, let's say right here, that hits, that raises conviction. Whether it's an 8, whether it's a 21, whatever it is, whatever moving average there helps. Even if the moving average hits on the 2 minute here, it helps. So any test of a moving average on the 2 minute helps conviction massively. All right. And as a generalization, it also helps if you're going long to have the first 1 minute breakout after the test. So even if you put in another red bar here and you go like this, the first time you break a 1 minute bar here and start actually going up is a very big deal. Okay. I don't know, my head was slightly blocking that. But yeah, that's what helps conviction. Um, if the moving average is down here, doesn't mean I'll ignore it, but let's say I take it. It's nice that you're above the moving average, but let's say even if I take this trade, I mean, keep in mind that on the 2 minute high right here for the green takes red, the 1 minute breakout would be there. But as you know, I'm trying to front run it on this. And usually I try to do, usually, or, or maybe not, sometimes not. I'll try to buy this thing either at the trigger or just right below it. Like literally front run the 1 minute to get there. And as the bar goes up, of course, looks like this, right? So that would help conviction. Any 2 minute red bar. I can't really talk about the difference between me and Kelly. I'm not exactly sure to the T of how Kelly executes it, but the real answer should be it doesn't matter. The real question is you see what's happening. Kelly has been posting a lot of his trades. You could look at the chart, and when Kelly says I'm in something, just look and say, well, where would have I wanted to buy this? Earlier, later, not at all? And those are the questions you sort of have to ask yourself. I hope that makes sense to you. So Kelly likes it when it's near the 21. I definitely have found it to be a lot better if you're near the 21. I make my 21 blue. It doesn't matter what color you do. Hey, Aunt Judy, how are you? Welcome. We're taking email questions. Hope that helps. Mark, I feel like whenever I have one good green day, the next day I give it all back. That's common, if not even more. That's also common. I had a very decent green day yesterday, but then gave it all back because I held the overnight in Tesla for way too long and it plummeted. I think I held it because the trade was in the red and I just don't like seeing red trades in my P&L. That's a huge, huge problem. What's wrong with me? The same thing that's wrong with 99.9999% of traders. You're here to make money. You want to make money. So why would you take a red trade? Ironically, that is the way you're supposed to make money, is by accepting trades and taking them red. What should I change? How can I do better? Very fair question. I have to see. All right, so in terms of the overnights, you could set little rules. For me, I just generally sell it early. So like on the overnight on Tesla, um, it pretty much opened up and started popping up right away. And it started popping up, and I was like, wow, I felt so blessed to be up. I think I made $1.10 per contract. And I was so happy that it was up money that I'm actually a little bit confused. Because you're saying here, you're holding in, it plummeted, and So you were up money and then you were down money, but after you were down money, you didn't want to get rid of the red trade because you wanted to be green money. The funny part about trading is it's never about your winners or losers, it's about the process. It's about the process. And without sounding cliche, what does that mean, the process? What do you mean it's not about the money? I'm day trading so I can live my dream, and living my dream requires money. Exactly. You want to learn how to fly a jet. What do? Do you jump inside the pilot seat in the cockpit and then just take off on your first day? Or would you crash and, God forbid, burn? Analogy speaking, no God forbids. You want to learn how to be a brain surgeon. What do? Day one, they're like, here's a scalpel. Open up that guy's head. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. No, you study, you learn the process, and then you're ready for it. I don't hold overnights well. I throw them away because for me, if I could speak, I would rather be on 100 overnight trades. I would rather make $500 on every single one and be up 50 grand than be up 200 grand and having to sell those positions at the end of every day. So I'll repeat it. I would rather come in the morning, sell my positions. Let's say I take 100 overnights throughout a year. I think I take a little more, but let's say it doesn't matter. Let's say I take 100 overnights throughout a year, right? I would rather make $500 on every single one of them and be up 50 grand for the year than needing selling in the morning, than making 200,000 a year, but I'm forced to hold those positions till the end of the day. Why is that? I mean it, by the way. I'm not just saying that. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Why am I saying that? Why would I rather make 50 grand selling in the morning and bat 90%, 80%, as opposed to making 200 grand and batting 40%? Less toxicity, consistency, stress. Not only that, exactly, more toxicity holding through the day. It's going to have a negative effect on my intraday trading. I'm going to miss news stories. I'm going to miss technicals because I'm watching this stupid thing go up and down. It's going to take my focus. Tesla? I have a Tesla position. What are you doing, Tesla? It's Tesla. Now, if you had Verizon, you could go to the bathroom, take 17 shits, go jog the New York City Marathon, come back, and then move the nickel. I mean, that's fine. But I'm saying, and you'll get a dividend on top of it. Exactly. But but that's what it is. Uh, oh man, that's funny shit. But it shares with you sort of the mentality of why I throw away these trades. If you guaranteed me that I can bat 40% and make 200,000 and selling them the same day, but at the end of the day, as opposed to 50,000 guaranteeing me with a much higher hit rate, I'll make it easier. Let's say I'm batting 40%, selling it in the morning, and 40% selling it at the end of the day. I would still rather make 50,000 in the morning batting 40% than 200,000 at the end of the day batting 40%. How's that? I know, and some of you might be dumbfounded. That's $150,000 just sell. Why don't you just put it in another account? They'll look at it, and you're already your mind is already trying to skirt around the rules because You are trying to look for an excuse to avoid the psychological toxicity. You are trying to look for an excuse to overcome and overwhelm and try to sidetrack and try to bend the rules a little, Neo, like you're in the Matrix, like rules are meant to be broken. You think that is air you're breathing? Hmm. Like that is where your mind is going right now. If you're sitting there thinking that, well, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I disagree. I would rather make the 200,000. You are completely underestimating psychological fortitude and how powerful your intraday trading could be if you actually how good your trading can be if you actually focused on your psychological fortitude and avoiding psychological toxicity. I know it sounds nuts what I just said. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. It's not about the money. It's not. I'll tell you, sometimes I see some traders in the room. I can't do what they do. Traders who I love and respect as people, like I have their back, like like my boy Cliff today, he was like, I'm down 40,000 and I came back to negative 1,500. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I wouldn't be able to handle being down 40,000 as well as he did. I wouldn't be able to handle being down 40 grand. Like, I've been trading 22 years. I can't handle that shit. Being down 40 grand? He's not a gazillionaire. He used to be a losing trader and he became profitable here. But, you know, I can't do that. I can't do that shit. I remember I had a day where I was down like 12,000 and I'm like sitting here like, I'm trading pretty effing well. I'm not even tilting and I'm down 12 grand. And then I always manage to come back from there. 40 grand? I mean, look, I take losses on my trades. Yesterday, I had one of my best days of the entire year. I don't even know how I did it. And I had like a 4 or 5 grand loss in one trade. Like a 4 or 5 grand loss in one trade. And I'm like, damn it. All right. What can I do that's smart now? Doesn't matter. It's gone. 40 grand? Can't do that shit. Can't do that shit. Refuse to. So how can you do better? Get into the right psychological mentality. Focus on my psychology videos. Are you sleeping well? Are you eating well? Are you doing supplements that you should be doing? I'm not a nutritionist. I can't tell you what works for me, might not work for you. What works for me, maybe is not for you. I can't legally tell you to buy anything. I use this B12 blend drop. It changed my life. This B12 drop changed my life. Now, you know, I take 2 squirts now every day sublingually underneath my tongue. I literally like squirt it under my tongue and I leave it there for like 10, 15, 20 seconds. And my whole head opens up. It's crazy. It's like, oh my God. It's like, whoa. It's like when you take it, it's like, wow, I needed that. I needed that in my life. Much better than coffee ever could, even though I do drink the organic coffee. And it's like, so when you're asking me how can you do better, and the real question is, how do you become a better person? I don't mean like you're a dick or an a-hole. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. I know you're not. I'm just saying, how do you become a better person? How do you sleep better? How do you eat healthier? Do you do your bed in the morning? Are you taking supplements? Are you avoiding gluten in your diet? Somebody actually, really, what I want to give you is this. I'm just going to reply. Look, here. You guys want to know how to become better? Look at one of the members. What one of the members did. That. That's how you become better. So you want an answer? There's your answer. I don't even want to be vague. That's how you become better. That's how I. Maybe you have to do something else to become better. Maybe that's not how you, but to me that's the answer. Mark, you mentioned an 8 by 8 strand in the room today, but I don't recall it being discussed or I see it posted. Can you please go over it? There was an 8 by 8 video somewhere. It's an old strategy. It's an old strategy. I got it. Here. You want the 8 by 8 strategy, guys? There. Thank you to the gentleman who put it all together. Um, should answer it. Last day here, May 25th. Hi, Mark. I've been a Newsbeat Live member since November 2020. So you've been here January, November to December, January, February, March, April, May. 6 months. You've been here 6 months. When I first joined your room, I would say I was at the end of the line as far as trading. So when he joined, he was pretty much done. I had just come off a big 3-day loss. I was so toxic, I was walking around like a zombie. Your C strategies in the S market at night helped me realize what I was doing wrong and how it was affecting me psychologically, psychology wise. Although I don't have the same trading system as yours, I did learn to adapt your strategies to my style. I'm more of a swing type trader than scalp. Not only did you help me become a better trader, but you helped me change some bad habits, and for that I thank you very much. Will always appreciate what you did. You're a mensch in the truest word. Thank you, brother. Also, I want to give a shout out to the others that helped me and made being here an enjoyable time as well. First and foremost, Christy is truly an ambassador for your room. She was welcoming from the start. She posts relevant information and good callouts for the spies. Also, I see her checking on people periodically during the day to see how they're doing, especially if they're having a red day, and always has words of encouragement. She does not have enough diamonds next to her name. We absolutely love the members in the room, and of course, Christy. Big shout out there. And Judy for a shout out. And Judy, that's flesh and blood right there. That's you think the flesh and blood cards are the only flesh and blood. And Judy is flesh and blood right there. And Judy for her call out. She is she is another trader that can spot some nice moves and always shares what she knows, and as well as was welcoming to new members, Kelly and CT, for their constant education and information, as well as Brian T for his daily Tesla updates and market direction. Geronimo and Carl Hines for their fast updates on market news. Great tag team. Had a great time being in Newsbeat Live and made some new friends. There were good days and bad days in trading, but I will admit I was glad I was here during the bad days. Your calming direction helped keep me sane. I wish you luck and good health, Mark, and all in the room. As Mark always says, happy trading, make money, and stick together, team. Um, Thank you. I understand a lot. Like, it's funny because as you wrote this and you said you're swinging, I said there's always a small group of swing traders who just sort of, I'm not saying this was you or whatever, but like sort of just get a little burnt out when you have 3 weeks in a row, 2, 3 weeks in a row of down moves in the market on a daily basis. It always happens in this room. I've been running rooms for 14 years. All I have to say is, obviously I know who you are. I'm not dropping your name. I appreciate the loving email. You are a Canadian. I do not know why Canada hates day traders. I've never seen a country detest traders more than Canada. I know people like Mr. Doctor are trying to make the scalping end work. I know you feel you're more of a swing trader. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. Um, you know, that's really tough to say. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it's just whatever you're doing to make money, which truly defines you. And if you're having, you know, with whatever you're going through, um, you know, you were in this room for 6 months and you were coming off a really bit. I'm just saying, I just want to show you something going that goes back to my point, and the only point of what I'm saying here is right over here. Just look at what you said here. I've been a Newsbeat Live member since 2020 when I first joined your room. And then you're saying I had just come off a big 3-day loss. Like before you joined the room, you just come off a 3-day loss and you said you joined in November. I'm just gonna point out, look what happened from November when you joined, like before November. Right here is November, the first trading day of November. Look what happened before. The big 2 week down move, the 2 to 3 week down move in which I was talking about. And I'm sure you felt that way in early March. And I'm sure you felt that way recently when we dropped in here. And that's a very common thing. It has nothing to do with your skill set. It has nothing to do with who you are. You know, much love. And part of me is sad that you're only here for 6 months. Usually people give it a year or two before they really start to turn. Some people are much short, much shorter, weeks, and some people are longer. But you know, much love, my brother, and much love, my brother. Hmm. Room is always open. Yep. Eddie Joseph is. We're gonna have to 21 and me him again, Source, to find out who Eddie really is. Where are you going on vacation, by the way, Source? Where are you going? What country? Which country? Where are you going for work? You're permanently moving out of the U.S.? Oh, hopefully not. To be determined. Interesting, bro. Wow. Okay. Gotcha. You're still gonna be, but you could trade from Ireland, right? You should. I think we have some Irish people in the room here. Obviously Irish people. I mean people who live in Ireland. I have no idea what the taxes are like over there. Right. Uh, I mean, I've definitely answered them, bro. I'm not sure if you've read the show in which I've answered them, but and I couldn't tell you I remember which show you have to watch to find my answers, Ray. But I'll tell you what, my bro, if you send them to me now, I'll do it a second time for you. Mark, can we do something to adjust Geronimo's volume? It's coming across extremely loud compared to you. It's like he's yelling and you're talking normally. If I turn the volume down, that he's at an acceptable level, then it's hard to hear your comments. I really don't want to have to mute his new callouts because they're really important, but I can't have him at such a high volume just to be able to hear you. It would be great if we had individual volume controls for each presenter. I agree. Um, I've been trying to intentionally talk soft. The thing with Geronimo is I think you have to always remember, just from a logistics standpoint, is that he's watching CNBC for us. He's watching CNBC for us. So he has to talk over the television. So that makes it kind of hard. Me, I don't have a TV in the room, but it's important that he has a TV. You ever turn on a faucet and it's impossible to hear someone talking to you from across the room when you have a faucet on? When you like turn the sink faucet on and the water's running? I mean, when there's a TV, when you're in a louder environment, you have to raise your voice to be heard. I could try a little. I don't want him turning off his television. I'll try to talk a little louder. You think, and for a lot of people, it's fine. Yeah. At, this is the first, I wouldn't call it complaint, but the first notice that somebody brought up. I can try to raise my voice. Look, tell me if my voice is getting louder. So I'm just going to make a hum and I'm going to raise my mic, okay? Without raising my voice. You ready? Tell me how this is. Mm, did I get louder? How about now? How's my voice now? Is it a bit louder than before? All right. So on my mic, I literally have like audio volume right here that I click up. I could do audio volume right here. So I'm going to put that audio volume like this. So I mean, I don't want I don't want him lowering it, right? So I'll leave it at max. See how that works out. Just keep in mind, like, I'm always intentionally trying to remain calm. And a lot of times it's hard to remain calm when you have a large position. And if I get excited, it pretty much denotes conviction level. Exactly. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. I'm going to talk like this as a generalization, and we'll see how that works. So hopefully this helps, and I'll just try to do it myself. Next email. Hey, Mark. In 2 weeks, I will have spent 4 months in the Newsbeat family, and I haven't made a single trade yet. Holy, look at this. I love it. However, being part of this service has changed my life completely. I remember the first time I saw one of your videos on the YouTube page, and I was immediately drawn in by your humor and different approach to trading. I had been a victim to Wall Street and their evil methods of destroying everyone, of the people around them, and your emphasis on how psychological toxic those strategies and people are really stuck with me. The craziest was when you mentioned a scene from my life where I told God I will become a better person and start praying more if he stops me from losing money on a trade. That, right here, is a common occurrence. How many of you have the balls, or, even if you're a girl, the hypothetical balls to admit right now that you literally pray to the person upstairs that you would be a better person and start praying more or whatever, or you'll be a better whatever it is if you stop him if he stops you from losing money on a trade. Type in 11 if you have done that before. I have. Yeah. Traders find religion every day. People don't know, but we're we're a mission from the Vatican. Um, there's nothing wrong with praying, but I think we've all done that, and it means you're in a really bad spot if you're there. In February, when I joined Newsbeat, I spent the beginning just trying to get a feel for the service and understanding the strategies, VTF, and how everything worked. I quickly realized that Tastyworks is a horrible platform for day trading, and that SSE was the switch I needed to make. I had, I couldn't help it. It's great. It's great because it's so true, and people like realize this for the first time. We say it completely endearingly, but there are people out there like, I'm using Robinhood. What's the big deal? And it's like, I had immediately taken the money out of Tastyworks and was ready to fund a new account. During this time, SSE had shit the bed, and I remember everyone was searching for new options, and I decided to play it safe and hold off until I learned the strategies better. During that time, I ended up having a bad accident with my knee, and instead of putting my money into SSE, I had to use it to pay my bills. I'm very sorry about that. I wasn't able to go to work, and I lost my job due to the injury, and overall, I was pissed at life. I was a stoner, addicted to nicotine, had no job, gained 20 pounds over COVID, drank for fun meaninglessly, and had no control over my life. I think a lot of people can relate to that. All I knew since I joined and watched your videos was that I will make my life better, and even though I can't trade, I will take steps every day to become a better person. And when the time comes, I will have enough knowledge to jumpstart back into trading. I haven't skipped a single one of your videos since, and kept paying monthly for the service to stay grounded and make sure I was following these better habits. Since then, I am over 110 days nicotine free. I rarely smoke weed, and if I do, it's only on weekends occasionally. I started going to the gym as often as possible and working on upper body until I was able to start strengthening my knee again. I have lost 13 pounds and completely changed my body composition through exercise and diet. Drinking is also kept to a minimum and rarely happens anymore too. Since last week, I am able to do leg workouts again and not have too much knee pain when standing for too long. I have gotten my job and will be able to fund my account within the end of this week. One of my favorite things you have taught me from all the lessons is being able to say no to things that are negative or things that are in your path to success. I know what I have to do to be successful, and I now say no to things that are in my path. This week I am strictly paper trading using SSC and TC2000 and just practicing one strategy that works in this current environment. I'm going to be focusing on the 2-minute green takes red strategy when it hits the 21 EMA. I will have a very small account, but I'm going to focus on Tesla 1 contract when I do get funded and work my way up from there. My journey in the room has been wild, but I am so happy to be taking steps and becoming a better human and a better trader, and I know I am destined for greatness and I'm ready to work hard to get there. I really couldn't thank you enough. Wow. Wow. Okay, look. This is one of the very very, very important emails that are going to come your way. Um, Whether you're successful, not successful, or haven't started, or in between, that you're going to come across. Because this person has absorbed, without even starting to trade, exactly what it takes to become a better trader. Zan, how many cigarettes you smoked today, Zan? You smoked a full pack of cigarettes. Look, I used to be a smoker. Two, weed, tobacco. I used to be 1 point like 3/4 of a pack a day. Sometimes I would do a pack on a weekend. It's horrible. And what this person is doing is what I would tell him to do to become a better trader. If he was trading, whether he was making or losing money, let's say he was making, let's say he was losing, let's say he was breaking even, and he said, Mark, how can I do a better trader? I'd be like, well, what does your life look like? Well, I do this, 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 this. I smoke a pack a day cigarettes. I smoke weed. I drink alcohol for the F of it. His life was spiraling. And I'll tell you right now, like, that's what he needs to do to become a better trader. If you can all look at your life like this person just did, my guess, my guess, it's a guess. Take everybody who's struggling in this take you know what? Forget about just that. Take everybody in this service. The ones who are making money, the ones in between, the ones who are losing. Take them all. If you approach trading with this mindset of this email, 100, not 99, not 98, not 92, not 80%. 100% of you would be on the path of where you need to go to become a consistently profitable trader. 100% of you, not 99. I don't know what you're doing that's hurting you. I don't know what you're doing that's hurting your body. I don't know what you're doing that is helping your body. One thing that the person who's running T3 Live said to me 12 years ago, 12 years ago, the person running T3 Live today said to me, I had a pack of cigarettes on my desk when I was smoking. Um, he said, and I would walk away from my computer and I would go outside the building in front of the building, like everywhere would go. I would light up a cigarette and I would go right upstairs. My breath would stink, my hands would stink, my clothes would stink. Immediately, I'd always go right to the bathroom to wash my hands with soap and rinse out my mouth with water, even though that wouldn't do a perfect job of getting that stank ass cigarette breath out. And one of the things he said to me 12 years ago is that cigarette smoking was like slow motion suicide. To this day, I will never forget those words that he told me. I will never forget those words that he told me for the rest of my life. So if you are smoking cigarettes, take it from me. I understand the addiction. I I've been there. I've been there and I fought through it. Slow motion suicide. You want to know the funniest thing about every cigarette smoker? You want to know the funniest thing? And tell me I'm wrong. While you're smoking, and when you think about it, you know for a fact that you're killing yourself. You're just accepting it as you're doing it. It's not like, oh, I didn't know this shit was harmful. It's like, oh, I'm from the 1930s. I didn't know this shit was harmful for me. Every cigarette smoker in the back of their head, if they ever do think about it, knows that they're killing themselves. So how did I come to quit? Wasn't easy. Um, uh, it started with my ex-wife being a smoker. Then I picked up the bad habit. I'm not blaming her, but I picked up the habit from her. My fault, full responsibility. But you're smelling it all the time and whatever. And in all fairness, I enjoyed smoking a cigarette 5 times a year. Like I'd be that person who smokes three, four, 5 cigarettes a year. Like if I'm at a party, I go outside, whatever. I'll have that one cigarette and whatever. It was fun. I smoked weed. It was fun, whatever. And and I picked up the habit. Got divorced, and I was still smoking afterwards. And I think I transitioned from cigarettes to weed to nothing. So a lot of hard cold turkey action. I didn't do the patch or anything or Nicorette gum or Chantix. I didn't do any of that. But I figured weed was a better feeling than cigarettes. But then when I realized that right after my divorce when I was smoking weed, and I didn't do it often, I wasn't like I, I was smoking daily, but I didn't consider myself like a pothead. I was almost microdosing marijuana. Does that make sense? Like people microdose. Holy shit, Geronimo, really? Yo, brother, that's one of the. That's huge, bro. You quit chewing tobacco. That's effing awful, bro. That is so terrible. Oh my God, chewing tobacco is the worst. Oh my God, it's so. Oh my God, bro. Congratulations. Felt better instantly. And that's the thing. I felt better. All of a sudden, I had more energy. I was less sluggish. What happens? What happens is, ugh, uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's hard to kill old habits, Christy. Nobody says it's easy. You have to have the willpower to want to do it. And I'll tell you, I'll tell you right now, The world can be a tough place. The world can be a tough place. I remember after quitting cigarettes, I had more energy. I felt better. When you sweat, you don't realize what happens is when you're a cigarette smoker and you sweat and you smell your clothes have a very distinct odor. Like I could tell if you're a cigarette smoker, even if you didn't smoke, let's say you're a cigarette smoker, you didn't smoke for a week, you put on some clothes and you worked out in the gym, I'd smell your clothes and say that's a cigarette smoker because it comes out of your pores. And it's one of the worst things for your trading. It makes you impulsive. It literally destroys the neurological connections in your brain. It slows your speed. You're you're literally poisoning yourself. There's no nicer way to say it. And from a pack a day smoker and somebody who understands it, this email is so huge. He literally counted, I am over 110 days. He didn't say 4 months. He could have said 4 months. He could have said I'm about 4 months. No, no, no. I'm over 110 days nicotine free. And he's paying for the service not even to trade, but he's actually doing it right. I wish everybody who is a new trader or even a new person to this room who's not consistently profitable, I wish every single one of the people in this room did exactly this. Came here to not even trade. Just do this. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to better my life, and then I'm going to trade. If people were to do that, there would be a lot more success. There would be a lot more success. And man, man, I'm just telling you, like, it's huge. I'm gonna read your email, Ray. Are you here, Ray? I'm gonna read it, and it's gonna be recorded. Just want to make sure I get to you, brother. Let's go ahead and discuss it. I'm saving that email. That email is. I wish everybody did this. Exactly. And what Braden is saying is so true. Once you go through it, you have the experience to help others that were in the same boat that you were once in. Amen. Amen. So many people come to me like, Mark, this room saved my life. Profitable, not profitable, in the middle. Everybody, like my girlfriend notices, my wife notices, my husband, my boyfriend, my partner, my this, my that, my dog notices I'm in a better mood. It's crazy. Mark, would you please take a look at these trades and give me your opinion on them? This is all paper trades and I only have a very small account. Also, would you please sell me your platform layout? I cannot send you my platform layout because you live in Canada. I use Street Smart Edge and Canadians don't have access to Charles Schwab Street Smart Edge. So I could send you my layout. It's actually downloadable. You wouldn't be able to apply it because it's in a file that could only be opened by Street Smart Edge. Okay. So just want to point that aspect out, bro. Um, I'm using interactive broker platforms. I need some help setting it up with your layout. Who has an interactive brokers layout here? That's good. That's meant for scalping. Is it possible that you guys can share it or no? You have to like design it yourself. Because Schwab lets you, you can. If you would be so kind, Source, I appreciate you, brother, and anybody who wants to share it. Um, Geronimo says use DOS. You can upload a picture. If you want to just email me the picture, I'll just forward it to the gentleman. Or you could, he's in the room now. You could share it. If he gives me permission to share his email, I would do it. Okay. Let's look at his screenshots. He sent me some screenshots. All right. Let's see. All right. Um, you're trading CFDs? Am I seeing that correctly? Ray, are you trading CFDs? Okay. Um, I'm sorry. I'm even thinking about where do I start because I'm a little bit confused on how to even begin explaining to you what you're going through. So here's the problem. So CFD is a contract for differences. It's an agreement between the investor or trader and a CFD broker to exchange the difference in the value of a financial product between the time the contract opens and closes. It's an advanced trading strategy that is utilized by experienced traders only. There is no delivery of physical goods or securities with CFDs. A CFD investor never actually owns the underlying asset, but instead receives revenues based on the price change of the asset. For example, instead of buying or selling physical gold, a trader can speculate on whether the price of gold will go up or down, etc., etc., etc. I'm going to tell you right now. All right. Okay. Listen carefully, my brother. I have never, ever, and I'm not saying you won't be the first, I have never met anyone in my life who made money trading CFDs. I've never traded one. I've never met anybody in my entire life who's made money trading CFDs because the commission structure is obnoxious. There was somebody I remember in the room who was doing it overseas. They bought like Snap on a CFD. Snap moved like 80 cents in their favor and they lost money by selling it after they bought buying and selling it. And I'm like, I'm telling you right now, brother, I can't legally tell you that what you should do. I would not trade CFDs. Now maybe you're the first and only person. Like I'm looking over your trades. I don't even know how to analyze these trades. They're CFD. I've never traded a CFD in my life. So are these buying the Micron CFD and and I'm not even seeing your buys and sells, so I can't even just analyze the trade. I just see sell, 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 closing, 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 closing. Like I don't even know when you're opening up a trade. I only see one trade opened up here, yet you close like 50 others. My thoughts, I can't legally tell you what to do. This is all a scheme to induce a false sense of confidence in you. And when you actually trade, your results will be very different. That's my opinion. All CFDs. And I can't even tell where you opened and closed this, brother, because you're only showing me one side. I don't even know how to analyze this. I need to see where you opened and closed the trade to even tell you if it made sense if you were actually trading stock. It shows you open two trades here, Twitter and Roku. I guess you're overnighting them, but you didn't close Twitter and Roku, so you're just buying them and holding. That look, that might be your thing. A Tesla Motor CFD. And look, uh, you're pretty much, even with your gains and losses, you're pretty much, from what I can tell, making money phenomenally consistently. Like, what does this mean? You're up 1,000 Canadian bucks, but you chopped it off. I don't even see the entire thing. It looks like this program that you're paper trading on is meant to induce a false sense of confidence in you to make you think like you can do it. And then when you actually start, it's going to be like, yo, what the hell actually happened? I wouldn't be confident that I can make money on CFDs. So, all right. So let's say that you switch. I'm making it up. I can't tell you what to do. Let's say you switch over and you start trading. Stock is going to be hard for you to trade because you have a very small account. If you have less than $25,000 and you're on pattern day trading, that's going to be very hard to trade stock because you're going to be limited. Now, again, maybe that's what you need, maybe that's what you don't, but I just need to warn you that you should please check out. Uh, so he's going to share his story when time comes. This room loves you, Zon. You know that. We have your back here. Um, all right, so you have no PDT in Canada. Maybe you can trade stocks. I don't know. Then maybe you can. I don't know the Canadian rules, but um, yeah, pretty good beer there, for sure. But yeah, in the future, Ray, my brother, just show me the opening and closing time of your trades because that would really help me um, understand everything. So I gotta run. Um, yeah, I gotta run here. I love you guys tremendously. Stick tough. Remember, I want that. I want that last email to resonate with you. Trading Trading is about bettering yourself. That's how you become a consistently profitable trader. When I stopped doing all the smoking and everything, that's when things change. Look, how many months have I had this bottle sitting here? You know? When do I drink? Sometimes, not even every, but sometimes on a Friday when I hang out with you guys and I'll have one. I've had two before. Otherwise, I'll never drink. And it's not because I don't enjoy life's luxuries as much as somebody else. All right. So, yeah. Love you guys tremendously. Happy trading, make money. I'll see you tomorrow morning on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast.